Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Excellent. Thank you so incredibly much, dear Mary and Stacy, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it is a
Thank
pleasure and an
you.
honor. So, very good. So, let's see. How was your alignment day? So, today is a day where all of the planets were in some form of alignment. This alignment started. Was that you?
That's not me.
Didn't I say it? Say it tonight out with laughter. Okay, so last night was an alignment day. So all of the planets were in some form of a straight line, which is the alignment that we saw. I personally woke up around 4 o'clock in the AM. So I know that the energetic shift that we are all experiencing was heavy duty. It was big. It felt as if it was a timeline convergence, but it wasn't. It was an alignment. The star people are saying right now. So what I personally have seen is changes. And the changes have been small, simple things like a birthmark showing up on an individual's neck. Small things in my life, but it was so clear that something had shifted. So I do know whenever we start to notice a physical reality changing or shifting, it is always because there is something happening that we're just, it's in the solar alignments, dear ones. Thank you. We, the star people, are ever so gently stepping forward. We are going to facilitate an Om. An Om opens and expands your heart chakras, dear ones, allowing for each of you to join an energetic grid in which you may start to feel unconditional love resonating through your hearts, dear ones. We, the star people, are also going to be facilitating different types of energetic clearings tonight. This is going to allow for your energetic grid structures to rebalance and realign to your highest potential timeline expression. Thank you. We wish for each of you to take a deep breath in. Deep breath in. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, star people, for this beautiful channeling tonight. Thank you for being here with us. And thank you so much for guiding us all and supporting us along our ascension journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, and like you were talking about the alignment and if we'd seen things change in our lives, and before we kind of chit chat before, I was allowed to go live on TikTok without the necessary followers. That was a big shift. My daughter got a new vehicle, new to her this weekend. And my ex moved out of my parents' home finally after a year. So huge shifts.
Big shifts, big ones.
For sure.
So how do you feel going through those shifts?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
It's like,
for
yes,
your
finally
highest-
stuff's moving. I was so
highest and
excited.
best alignment. It's like, thank you.
Yes.
I do notice the year 2025 is the year of 9. 5 plus 2 and 2 is 9. So whenever we see a 9, we know that those are the cycle endings. And we're seeing that already where the cycles are like, it's coming into your awareness and it's like, it's out of here. It's ended and then something new is coming. 2025 has been very rapid. Maybe with small breaks of, periods in between the shifts, but like very rapid changes for all of us. Such a blessing. So when we remain heart centered, and I'm talking like, even when we're in the middle of the thick of it, release, just to have that moment and that level of awareness to just come back to your heart and say, today I choose love. So I know that there's been hard times in my life, and it was like there's a choice. And the choice is you can get angry, or today I choose love. So just try and do that to the best of your ability without putting so much pressure on yourself. Yeah, it makes it a little easier. So,
Yeah, there's been timeline shifts where it feels like it's not real. Like I'll just be sitting here and all of a sudden I'm like, what's going on? And I can feel the energy change. So I know it
yes.
must be a timeline shift that's happening, right
Well, we
before me.
had we had density bubbles come into the awareness. I think in the second book, Keys to My Ascension is a new book. I think in that book we may have touched onto density bubbles. Um, I've seen them twice now within the past 2 weeks. And a density bubble is like this. It's surrounding an individual. It could be multiple people at the same time, but it basically is when those people's frequency shifts, and we're just going to say into the lower frequency, but it can go in the higher one too, and it depends on where they are radiating their energy from. Let's say it's in the heart, their heart hurt, that's an emotion release. You'll start to see and sense a green density bubble. You may not see the color, you may just recognize that that's where the energy is going, and it's like the density drops. And so you may notice screaming and fighting, or just lower vibrational experiences. And then you start to identify where it is, but the entire frequency in the entire room or house will shift. And then the people start to shift into that frequency, whatever the density bubble is. Now, the star people have been telling us for quite some time, we are able to call forward vortex energies. So, vortex energy is more of a spiral type of energy that we can call forward. We can place vortexes in the land, we can place them in buildings, but even that is a little different than a density bubble. And so, like the new thing, because now that we have the awareness, I've seen it in the darkness and I've seen it when I was a kid. I just didn't have the words to say what it was. Now we can start to play with calling them forward in the light, which is where we really get excited, because it's like, well, if we can call a circle, a bright white light, and place it into any room or any area, and then have it shift all people, things, and places inside the bubble, then all of a sudden, what does that mean for us? Are we able to pull a density bubble of a higher frequency around us and set it and forget it? And then as we go walk through our day, anyone who comes into our field is automatically going to shift into a higher frequency range in which you are aligning yourself with more positively aligned experiences. So it's like, wow. Because the second that you see something like that, you can't go back. You see it and you're aware of it. And it's like, it's caused by a very high, intense emotion. So we know this about people who are charismatic. When they walk in, the energy shifts in the room and all the people get interested and everyone gets excited to talk. So that's what they're doing, is they're summoning a higher frequency density bubble. So now we just have to learn how to do it, right? It's genius. That's our homework.
The frequency of my beliefs is affecting the world around me. That's one of my affirmations.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
It works.
Of course it does. Well, because of you, we have an affirmation post, which is going into the new book.
Awesome.
Yes. And
Of
it's all
course.
about different affirmations and the different chakras that we can cast these affirmations into. You know, for example, I see will be in the pineal gland. I speak is coming from the throat. I feels the heart, and so on and so forth. But when we are going through an emotion, and this ties right back into the density bubble, depending on the emotional frequency that we are holding and resonating, or yeah, it changes the density outside of the body. And we know the aura field goes out for 6 feet or more, depending on the person and how much energy work they have facilitated upon themselves. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I send out the love, I always say go through anybody who walks through my aura field is instantly it is downloaded to them. The
Yes.
frequency of my unconditional love. They feel it as soon as they walk into my aura. Because I know my aura is strong and far.
Yes. This is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yes.
Yep. Um, the next one is how important breath work is at this time with these energies that we're having.
Oh, yes. So I personally find that any and all spiritual tools may be rotated. There's a time and a place for everything. And so you guys who have been following me, you know for the past 2 years in the summer months, it's ice bath challenge, right? And the ice bath challenge comes along with breath work. Now, I've had an experience doing the breath work, and I've seen a car in front of me change and then change back. And it was like this, flop, 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 flop. Like that's what I saw and that's what I heard inside my body, my mind. And as I did this, the car went from whatever make and like type of car it was, and I think it was like a greenish color, and it shifted the type. So the make and the model of the car shifted, but the color was very similar, but you could tell something shifted. Um, Now we know we're multidimensional, and we know that we are flipping through parallel realities billions and billions of times each and every second. So controlling our true multidimensional nature and our ability comes with going inside. The air holds ether. Ether is plasma in its nature, dear ones. However, there are other components in the air as well. Different frequencies from your location is also energetically blending with your biological form with each breath taken. When you take your air in using the upper nostrils, you may choose to cover one nostril at a time, and you may choose to take air in. This then starts to affect the brainwave patternings, bringing a sense of cohesion to the different aspects of your brain. There are other meditations involving the nostrils. 4, you may also take 3 small breaths in with your nose, and it shall activate a mental type of ability in which you are able to then transcend the thought grids. You are also able to activate the control center by utilizing the nose. The nose contains the olfactor sensors. This type of sensory ability allows the smell to then activate the memory grid complex. Dear ones, your memory grids completely control your physical manifestations of your reality. Now, as far as the body goes, you are also able to take 30 deep breaths, deep into your belly, and breathing out all of the air, and then holding that air shall also allow your fight or flight systems to become activated. When the fight or flight systems become activated, it is very easy to then activate the crystalline DNA subsystems. This is going to allow for your extrasensory abilities to start to become activated in a type of manner which allows you to control which sensory ability becomes activated. Usually, this system works in the sort of sense of whatever is needed for your survival may activate first. However, because humanity as a whole has been under a state of pressure for quite some time, any extrasensory ability that you have in alignment to may then start to form in your energetic grids as well as your DNA subsystems. The breath may also be used in another manner, which is letting out more air than you are pulling in. This allows the body to go deeper and deeper into your meditation. There are many different forms of energetic work that may be transpired within the human form. Some examples of this would be pulling the soul inwards. You may feel as if your body is solid, so to say. And when you start doing this, you may feel a sense of heaviness wash over you. You may then start to feel the light body pulling upwards until your light body is completely embodying the center of your physical form. You may feel your arms and legs being slightly different during this type of modality. Then, dear ones, you are able to continue to rise the soul all the way up to the pineal gland. all the way to the crown chakra. However, it may be easier for some of you to take the soul and consciously cast it out the pineal gland. This is going to allow for any type of visions, including remote viewing or astral projection abilities, to then activate through this type of meditation. The air elemental is also able to be utilized in different manners. 4, you are able to start a process of communication with the air element. This then will allow different frequency spectrums to be downloaded from the air. For example, if you need to know a frequency code of Egypt, for example, dear ones, you are able to summon that frequency by utilizing the air, because the air contains a form of ether. The air element in itself is conscious in its nature. There are fine particles that the human eye cannot see in the air. These particles may contain specific bandwidths of frequencies. They may then be pulled into your body and may allow for a change in the location rings. This then allows for different types of teleportation to take place through breathing in the air of your Mother Earth. There are many different types of mushroom spores that are in the air as well. This mushroom spores, each of you have already been breathing in your entire life. They connect you to the mycelium kingdom, which is Mother Earth's thought stream. You may then start a process of communication with Mother Earth because you are utilizing the breath and allowing a form of connection to you and Mother Earth to transpire. This allows for her trees to gift you each air that you breathe. And a type of cyclic connection between you and Mother Earth has already been formed since before your birth, dear ones. 4, the type of connection shall also allow into magical creature kingdoms or manifestations into parallel reality expressions. This is because the air element contains different frequency bandwidths that your human body may not even currently be aware of. Now, what this means, dear ones, if you may imagine it, you may breathe it, and the biological form may then shift, allowing a new frequency spectrum to open and expand in your heart. This allows for any emotion code to be absorbed, radiated, and energetically cast into the surrounding simulations, dear ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People.
Thank you. Yes.
I love breath work. I can't get enough of it. I do it at least twice a day.
You know what? Anytime I feel like, kerplunk, it's breath work. That's like the best one to pick you up. If you like feel sad or depressed or junky or any of that stuff, release, do the breath work because it picks. I have a can of oxygen. So they sell these cans of oxygen. You can just go Google online where to get them from. And if you do the breath work with the oxygen, it takes it to a whole nother degree. Because it's like when I was doing the breath work, primarily it was to psych myself up, release, to get into an ice bath. And so you would want to have that extra oxygen in all the cells. This way your body doesn't get too cold when you're getting in the ice. Do it without the breath work, and then you do it with, and you'll see the difference. But I was using a can of oxygen, and it was like every 5 to 10 breaths, you take a huge breath with the oxygen and just hold it in. And when you hold it, you can feel it pushing into your fingers and your toes. So you can really feel it working. And then after the 30 deep breaths and you're holding this, get into your ice bath. And you'll start to see your body. It's like a very rapid way of healing. Very, very rapid way. Because if you have a cold or a virus or any of these things. Now, Wim Hof is the ice man, ice champion of the earth in my book. And he talks about the breath work, where it's taking the 30 deep breaths in and then holding the breath for 1 minute and then 2 minutes, or a minute and a half and 2 minutes. When you do that, it's activating your fight or flight systems, which then in turn allows your extrasensory abilities to turn on. What Russia did was they ejected 10,000 people with E. coli. And the 10 people who were doing this breath work, they didn't get sick. So what happens is the body, it starts to look at the germs and bacteria, and if you have a cold, any of that, And it's like, we don't have time to worry about a virus or any of this. We're just going to put that to the side because now our fight or flight systems became activated. But we're the one who's activating it, and we're doing it with our own control. We could just take a breath in, and that's it, we'll be fine. But the body doesn't know that. The body thinks the fight or flight systems are on, and that's a blessing because it's like any illness or virus and things like that get put to the side so that the body like takes it and releases it very quickly. So it is one of those things that's just a blessing to do. When we do the breaths in the nose, 3 small breaths, and you do that a number of times, you feel it go right into your head. Your whole head feels lighter. So we know it's doing something. The star people say there's different types of brainwave readings that we may be able to see while doing the breathwork meditations. Um, there is also a form of cohesion because the star people are bringing it to my awareness right now. Different types of meditations. It's not really to do with the breath work, but different types of meditations will allow the crown chakra to flower open in communication with the higher self. You are able to pull extra light down into the physical body. This may be done with excitement. However, it may also be done through meditation. Utilizing the breath work, dear ones, in order to access and activate your biological form in a form of preparation may be observed, sort to say, for when you utilize the breath to go deep, deep in your meditation, you shall allow for an easier communication with your higher self. This may also allow for a type of energetic transference to occur within the heart chakra subsystems. You may see a green light in your third eye. That green light may be green blue or green yellow, dear one. Now, this means that you have generated a form of communication with your higher self during this type of meditation. You may then call forward any type of higher frequency emotion code and allow your higher self to generate that emotion code inside your biological form. This may allow for spontaneous healings of your physical body. Now, you may be able to set it and forget it, dear ones, which means you may set the intention before diving into your meditation. This way, the higher self automatically knows what it is that you are trying to facilitate during your meditations. The higher self may then generate a type of energetic transference, which allows an 11th harmonic frequency to radiate downwards into the biological form, therefore allowing your body to go through a process of healing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. You know, and I noticed, I guess it was probably something that I learned probably when I was young, a little, you know, if I was scared or nervous about something, I tended to hold my breath. And I think I carried that with me as an adult, which made me more nervous or anxious because I was holding my breath. And so if I realized, oh, I need to breathe, and I would start like thinking about my breath instead of like what I was anxious about, it relaxed and calmed me down too.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of, it was just like one of those things that I had learned to do even as a kid. So I don't know if you guys learned to do that, like hold your breath.
I have actually. I
Yeah.
have. I've mastered that one.
Like I don't know how long I was holding my breath, but it was a while.
Yes,
But I would be like,
yeah.
oh wow, I haven't been
Oh,
breathing.
it's calming a little bit, and you know,
Mhm.
the star people were the ones who brought it to my attention, and it was you're holding your breath. That's fight, flight, or freeze. Freeze is the one, if you've ever seen a deer in headlights, where their body just completely freezes and tenses up. Yes, like that, Stacy. And like they're not breathing, right? Their eyes get big and they're frozen, and it's like they're not breathing. When we do this as children, it's because we've been through a trauma, and that trauma scared us, and that fear, it overtakes the body and it generates freeze. What happens is there's a moment of quiet inside the body when you're in that zone of focus. And so when you hold your breath, it's like your awareness is, it's like right underneath the skin of the body, and it's really quiet because things get really quiet when you do that. So yes, and you're 100% correct. The way to is to bring awareness to it, to overcome it. So the second that you can identify, okay, I'm holding my breath, let me just do it from the nose too. Star people are saying, because it's a slower feeling. you're not like panicking and taking the larger breaths in the mouth. You're doing it from the nose. And then it's okay to like rock yourself and tell your body, I am safe, I am loved, and I am protected. And what we're doing when we are telling the body these three things, it is an affirmation. I am safe, I am loved, and I am protected. Because you're telling your body, I am keeping you safe, I love you, and I am protecting you. So if there is any danger that comes forward, I'm going to be the one to stand up, and I'm going to be the one to make the change that we need to protect ourselves and put ourselves in a safe space. When we are children, many times we don't have that option of taking care of things and shifting and moving, and everybody's different. You guys all know your memories and what you've been through. But as an adult, now we have the power, and the power is we can walk away, we can shift, we can get in the car, we can leave the house, we could, there's options for us. We can make moves to get somewhere safe.
Right.
So whatever that looks like, and if some people can't make moves to get someone somewhere safe, reach out to a friend and let somebody know immediately. Call a hotline, call a friend. There's counseling services. There's so many different ways to like get yourself out of bad situations, but you have to make the first step. You have to tell somebody. And then from then on in, you follow the divine alignment, because the universe will support you making shifts. Whatever that wants to look like. And I know I've seen things in my life where, people have had $0 to their name and they still made shifts to like get out of bad situations. It can be done. Not saying that that journey is going to be easy, but it can be done, so that this way you can start the process of healing your life again. And to be honest, we've all had to heal aspects of our lives. It hasn't always been pretty. There's darkness, there's density. When we go through our levels of darkness and we heal it, it gives us a type of power, because now we know that dark frequency and we know how to overcome it. And so I used to always say this all the time. You could take me and drop me anywhere and I'll survive, because I know how to finagle and to do what I have to do to survive. So that's a blessing that you would only get from going through that struggle, right? And that's the empath ability as well. So the empath ability is all of the extrasensory abilities, not all of them, but a large chunk of them start in darkness. So, for quite a while, I couldn't hear. And then I started laughing at jokes that were in a different language. And it was like, oh, well, I was reading into the frequency, and not being able to hear was reading body language. So it's like, but because you went through the darkness of not being able to hear, my hearing is fine today, it's healed. But I went through that period so that I could activate different abilities in me. Now I'm aware. But at the time, I thought it was the worst thing in the world. And it was like, is my hearing ever going to turn back on? So it starts in darkness, and then your extra senses kick on. And then all of a sudden you have what you need, and now you can heal yourself. So the empath ability, it works in that way too for many of us. Many of us who have grown up, with the screaming and the fighting and all the things release, it's taught you to read emotions, to read the tones of people's voices, to read body language. We wouldn't have those abilities if we didn't walk what we walk through. So it starts in darkness, and then we evolve above it. And now all of a sudden we have this extra sensory ability. So it truly is a blessing to have these things in our life, even if it takes a challenge to overcome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nancy has
Yes.
a question.
Sure.
Isn't being in fight or flight stressful on the body?
Yes. If you are in fight or flight because you're in a toxic location and the fight or flight systems are always on or currently on, yes, it is. If you are doing the breath work activates the fight or flight because you're holding your breath, and your body starts to go through a process of, oh my goodness, we don't have enough breath. But because you've taken 30 deep breaths in, your body has enough air in it that it doesn't actually need to take the breath. So it activates the fight or flight systems, which then allows you to focus on the extrasensory abilities. Let me tell you something. It is a very easy way to activate the multidimensional abilities is utilizing the air. And that's only one element. There's other elements we can activate as well. We can do different breath works with each of the elements. So we're right now we're pulling in air, and that's what we're seeing, we're feeling. The air contains plasma and there's other particles in it. The star people are saying they have not yet given me that information, but I know it's coming soon, sooner than later, hopefully. But we can breathe in the fire. And I'm not talking about an actual flame. I'm talking about sit down with a candle and imagine breathing in the energy of the fire without breathing in a flame, because that you don't want to do. But taking the chi energetics of the flame and just allowing that to come inside of you. You have to imagine it, and then you're going to feel it. And then if there's any imbalances in your chi energetic systems, you can thank the flame entities, because there's many different types of beings who live in the flame. It is an elemental. You can thank them for healing your chi energetic systems. You may even see some of the flame beings. So, of course, it's like in a split second, you may see a face in the flame, or you may see a tiny little fairy or a tiny little person dancing in the flame as you're zoning into the flame during a meditation and allowing for that energy to come and bond with you. This is a type of elemental bonding that happens with us. So if anyone wanted to activate a type of pyrokinetic ability, or the ability to control or modify the flame element, I would advise sitting down with a candle and energetically bonding with the candle first. Make friends with the beings who live in that element, because there is a consciousness there. There's multiple consciousnesses there, the star people are saying right now. Any one of them may step forward in order to guide and support us. And when we do that, that's only one element. Now we know water holds memory. Going back to the flame, the star people want me to just reiterate something here. If you guys light a piece of sage, let's say you light a piece of sage or even a candle, and it goes pop, it is because the fire element is sensing darkness on your energetic grids, and it is releasing the darkness off of you. So we do this with a crystal as well, because if you hold a crystal and then the crystal shatters in your hand, or it may jump out of your hand, fall on the floor and break, it is the same thing as it going pop, and it is removing that density from your field. This could even be a dark one, which is a type of attachment that the crystal or the fire is removing. We know that water, especially when you use a little bit of salt in the water, we know that that water cleanses and purifies the attachments, as well as different, frequencies or emotion codes off the body when we do that. All of the elements do the same thing. So if you've ever been in a really like heavy room, release, and you're like, oh, I need to get some air, you're stepping outside because the air is cleansing and purifying your energetics. So the flames do the same thing, especially the smoke. The smoke contains the flame elemental. The earth, when we take our shoes off, we stand on the earth, or we touch the trees automatically starts to rebalance, and it starts a anti-inflammation effect in the body within 15 minutes of earth grounding. There's so many different types of elemental magic that we can dive into, as well as summoning different entities inside all of the elements. And then it's like the star people are saying that we're able to use different elemental energies in order to shift or enhance frequencies inside your different manifestations, dear ones. For example, if any individual wished to, let's say, manifest cleaner oceans, you may also call upon all four elements in order to assist a type of frequency cleaning or upgrade, which then shall allow any energetic casting from the primary individual to then resonate at a higher bandwidth. This allows for that particular type of manifestation to may be perceived in a more rapid manner. Now, dear ones, we also wish for each of you to fully ask if it may be in alignment for you to incorporate multiple people in your current manifestations. We wish for each of you to do world peace manifestations as much as your heart calls you to do. 4, the process of 2025 is a year of change. That change may be very smooth for all individuals, or it may be whatever manifestation it chooses. But the process of each of you coming together in videos of this nature and being happy and grateful for all shift happily as another channeler has inspired, when you then allow for that particular type of manifestation to wash through your energetic grids, it then allows for each individual to shift into a higher frequency reality coding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People.
That's interesting that you were talking about like the fire and like different things like breaking or popping, and that would release stuff too. Because I did like a kind of like a cord cutting, with where you would write out, I want to release any cords, any energetic things from the past and the future. I no longer want this in my energy. And I wrote it on a piece of paper and I put it in a candle, which I've had 20 something years. Okay, it's a glass candle thing. It took it forever to burn. And it was like doing this weird smoking thing at the bottom where it was just like a cauldron, I guess. I don't know what else you would call it. And it kept smoking and it wasn't burning. It was having a hard time burning the paper. And it was like a little bitty, like literally this size piece of paper. It wasn't like an 8x11. It was a tiny piece of paper. I was like, oh, this is taking forever for it to burn. Wow, my glass that I've had broke. It shattered, and I heard it go. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I think that thing broke."
Yes.
And luckily, I was outside, and I was like, now what?" But I thought, well, that's really interesting that broke, and so yeah, that's interesting.
Well, the breaking glass means transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a vase that was on top of the cabinets, and I don't know how, but it went flying and the glass went everywhere. And when something like that happens, it's like, wait a second, let's whip out the internet and let's research, what does broken glass mean? And it doesn't mean a type of transformation is coming forward for you. So, and like broken chair too, it means there's a type of transformation that's coming for you, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was meditating and I had 2 crystal candles and one of them broke right in front of me.
Wow.
I know. I remember I called you and told you that, Stacey. Remember?
I think I do.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Did you want to talk about the Lemuria?
Sure. So earlier the question had come forward. What was it? Do you think that Lemuria is real, or
will the Crystal City surface in our lifetime?
Okay. So we're multidimensional. There is a dimension out there. There's many different dimensions out there, dear one, in which Lumerius never departed from your Earth's surface. There are densities and dimensional expressions in which there has always been peace upon planet Earth. It is up to each individual to go deep within your energetics, releasing any densities, any distortions, any traumas you may have walked through, may have made a darkened energetic spot on your field. This then may be cleared in order to allow access into an aligned frequency expression of your true multidimensional abilities. This then will allow any individual to shift into the current reality in which Lumerius had never disappeared. For, dear ones, you may also go deep within yourself. You may access any moment within time and space on your current density dimensional expression. This then will also then allow access into a higher frequency level. This is known as a quantum codex, my dears, for when you activate your quantum codex, it shall allow a type of vision to overcome and show the different reality expressions that are not your current density level. For example, any item in your physical reality may shift in or out of your view. This grants the opportunity for you then to manifest different items according to your alignment spectrum. For example, your magnetics needs to be properly attuned in order to allow for a type of magnetic alignment to form in your energetic grids. Your thoughts, being electrical in their nature, may start the process of adjusting your magnetics, which is your emotions. This is why your thoughts and emotions are key. For the thoughts and emotions not only control your memory grid complex, but it also controls the future manifestations of any abilities or realities you wish to teleport into. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people.
Maybe I should go out there and see. Because I've been
Yeah.
able to see into the dimensions in the sky. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, it will dive into the meditation. The meditation is
Mhm.
everything because it's like we can see in the real physical reality, you see what you see, but a lot of us, including some of us here on the live stream, we have seen things where it's showing us through this reality expression. And there's a 444, right as I said that, synchronicity. You have to do the work. And when you do the work, it allows you to hold more light. And then all of a sudden, you start to see through the simulation. And you're like, wow, this changed, that changed. Or you may see something shift. In 2019, I had money change. So I had $3 wrapped in a receipt. It turned into a 10 and two singles. And then the cashier was like, this is the wrong amount. You need $16. And as I'm putting the money back on the counter, telling him I didn't have it, it shifted again to a 10, a 5, and a single. So it shifted twice. When I kept saying the words out loud, I didn't have it. So that was something that was eye opening. And then the gentleman's eyes opened very wide. And he was like, how did you do that? Now, this happened in New York in a Dunkin' Donuts very late at night. So
that's
that
amazing.
means he had seen the money switch as well. So the second that you instantaneously, and I've done it a couple of times, so like I know at this point, but the second that we instantaneously manifest something or we see something shift or change, it's like you know. And the second that you know, it's like you cannot unring a bell. The second that you know that you are able to shift things in your reality by coming inwards and utilizing the power of, manifestation, we'll call it, but it truly is, it's like a God-given ability that each and every one of us hold. And the way we control it is by stepping into our excitement, by holding unconditional love, by shining that love, being good humans, right? Being kind people, picking up the litter. You take every single moment without trying to be perfect, because that's an illusion. It's okay to have the sad moments because they're here for us to learn from. But the moments where you feel, good, and even the moments you're okay, shine more love and light to everything you do. And it's going to allow your density to raise. And then it's going to allow you to start to see through your simulation. You can shift your magnetics by doing this. And this is another reason why I'm even holding a gratitude rock, right? And just having something in your pocket so that anytime you're experiencing something crummy, you could just look at it and say, I have gratitude. I am gratitude. I am grateful. I am strong. Whatever affirmations you want to use, because it'll start the process of imprinting. Now, imprinting can be done in several different ways. What the star people say is every single word that we speak, whether it is you speaking it or someone else speaking it into your energetic field, it starts a process of imprinting the energetics on the outside of your body. Now, what that looks like is if you say a lower frequency word, it imprints the aura field, and then all of a sudden it manifests into your life. Now, it's going to manifest. Let's say you may witness that word or you may see that word somewhere, but because it's in your energy field and it hasn't yet been cleared or released, it also may start processes of cycle repeats. When we are very highly emotional, this can be a positive or a negative. You could be really excited, you could be really angry. It doesn't matter. The emotion is the same inside the physical body. When we are holding a very high emotion and then we speak to the body, it then starts to imprint whatever words and emotion codes that you are utilizing in the cells of the body. That is a very, very high frequency manifestation, because whatever you are, speaking over the body and you're using a very high emotion, it then changes the physical reality that that person is existing in, and it shifts them into a parallel reality in which they become that word. Now, those manifestations are stronger. They come stronger, they look differently, and it's like it shifts the entire resonance. Within 3 days of being imprinted with a word, your higher self or your alignment may either accept that imprint or reject it. So we tell people this during the attachment release sessions I do, and they say within 3 days, any attachment that we release, it may come back on you, and that's because you're in alignment to receive it again. But when we imprint the body, it will either allow us to shift into a higher frequency. You can accept it, or there may be a traumatic imprint somewhere in the body that needs to be cleared that pulls you back down and doesn't accept the new frequency imprint. This makes it very important the way we start to talk to one another. Even the people who may cause, any anger inside of you, it's very important that we speak kindness to each other. And whenever we do get a trigger, it's okay to take a step back and to go inside and start questioning ourselves. Why did I get triggered? Why did this make me upset? Because very easily, if someone calls you, let's say they call you a crook, and you're not a crook, it's not going to upset you, because in your mind you're going to think to yourself, that person just doesn't know me, right? You're not going to get upset over it. But if someone calls you a name and it triggers you, that means that there's an emotion inside that wants to come up to be healed. So then we would recommend going inside and figuring out, or allowing the higher self to give you the memory of the first time that name or that emotion code has ever been in your reality. Many times we may have to just close our eyes, blank out the mind, and allow the higher self to give us a memory, because we won't remember things that may have happened when we were 5 or 6 or even 2. And when we do that, we may have a memory come forward. We may just get the emotion name, and then we can start to release and forgive ourselves for even having that emotion code. So what that looks like is we place the left hand over the heart, the right hand over the belly button, and we start to speak the words out loud. I forgive myself for the emotion code. You're a crook. Release. Saying the word release releases the attachment. If anybody burped when I said that, you had that attachment. It's so fun. Yes.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your little clearing?
Yes, we can ask the star people if they would like to do an energetic clearing for everyone. So let's just see. Okay. If everyone would take a deep breath in and release. We wish to recalibrate each individual's primary chakra tubules. This is going to allow us to clear not only the center soul tubule as well as each independent chakra, but we will also be working in the ring systems, dear ones, for the location ring in specific. We wish to send more unconditional love into your entire system to allow for any earth changes to be of a higher frequency. This then will allow these earth shifts to have more love and unconditional compassion as humanity goes through its process of ascension and evolution. For any individual watching throughout time and space, you may speak the word yes, please now, or yes, thank you now, if you wish for us to cleanse and purify your energetic grid structures. There is no pressure. At any moment, if one of you does become fearful, we will ever so gently back off, and that's okay too. We will send you our unconditional love as you go through your process, regardless of your choices. Thank you. Excellent, dear ones. We have heard from all of you. Now we wish to do an Om. An Om opens and expands the heart chakra, dear ones. So we wish for each of you to take a deep breath in And one more deep breath in. Excellent, dear ones. We wish for each of you to close your eyes only if you are in a safe space, not driving. You may imagine or visualize a rainbow color outside your body. We know this as a rainbow ray. Allow this rainbow ray to amplify your natural aura field. We are now shifting each awareness level into the root chakra subsystems, allowing for the location ring to come forward and activate. You may feel a slight pressure in your lower spine. You may feel heat or tingles, and that's okay too. Allow for a very bright color red to fully activate your root chakras, dear ones. Any densities, any distortions are ever so gently removed. We now are generating an energetic cord in your root chakra subsystems, allowing specifically your location ring to be plugged directly into Mother Earth herself. Mother Earth is going to assist in facilitating a complete energetic rebalance, dear ones. This energy cord shall remain for at least 1 month, allowing for Mother Earth to rebalance your energetics as she sees fit, for she knows each of you on very deep levels. You may now notice a rainbow ray outside your body shifting the color orange into your awareness, allowing for each chakra to be centered directly in the body and free flowing from the front to rear equally. Any densities, any distortions are ever so gently removed. Some of you may have slight blockages we are working on removing. Just one moment, dears. We now are pulling an energetic cord from your sacral chakra and directly connecting it into Mother Earth herself, allowing for any densities, any distortions to ever so gently remove. One individual watching may feel a type of pulsing, and that's okay too. We are assisting in many different ways for each person equally. Imagine and visualize the rainbow ray outside your body. You may feel it activating the color yellow as we open and expand the solar plexus. For this chakra subsystem, we shall be cleansing and purifying the biological form as well as your location ring. Nice. Any densities, any distortions are ever so gently released. It is okay if you feel pressure. We are accessing the location ring in your solar plexus, allowing for an energetic tubule connecting to your sun to fully be embodied within the center soul tubule of your solar plexus, allowing the sun's energetic resonance to then open, expand, and recharge your bodies, allowing each of you to become healed, to activate your creative genius, and to allow each of your inner childs to be healed. We now open and expand your hearts, dear ones, allowing that rainbow ray to surround your body in a royal green color. The heart contains two chakras, the upper and the lower. We are activating both of them now. Any densities, any distortions are ever so gently removed. We are imprinting an emotion code inside each of your hearts, dear ones. You may choose to accept it or reject it when we speak it. The emotion code is I have more compassion for myself. Allow that emotion code to become imprinted within the cells of your hearts, shifting the way you treat yourself into more of a compassionate and unconditionally loving frequency. We are activating each of you onto your highest potential timeline expression. We are also releasing some attachments from our ends, dear one. You may feel the rainbow ray shift into a blue coloring, allowing your throat chakras to open and expand. Any densities, any distortions are ever so gently removed. We are activating multiple lenses inside your throats, allowing for a bright blue coloring to free flow through all of your systems, allowing a full alignment to rebalance into the now moment. We are generating an energetic tubule, connecting it not only to Mother Earth, but to free flow it directly through the source frequency net as well. This then allows for unconditional love and bliss to radiate down into the throat chakra systems, allowing for a rebalancing to occur. The reason we facilitate this through the source frequency net is to allow some individuals watching to activate different types of communication into their physical reality. For many of you are in contact with extraterrestrials yourself. This will allow that form of communication to be slightly easier. We now wish for you to visualize that rainbow ray outside your body to shift into a royal purple color as we open and expand your pineal glands. We allow for different astral guides to make communication with you now. We wish for each of you to just be silent in your mind. Allow any form of communication to come up that wants to make communication with you. These are your guides. They may speak to you in emotion, you may feel in your body, or you may receive a thought form. And that's okay too. Any individual who does not receive a thought or emotion, we are sending you love. Have patience, dear ones. We see you. We are opening and expanding the crown chakras now, allowing the center soul tubule to free flow both magnetic poles equally. Allowing this rainbow ray to fully surround your body. And as we conclude, we are drawing down a bright white light of pure unconditional love to surround your bodies now as well. Allowing each of you to be clean energetically, to be holding your highest potential timeline expression inside your body, your mind, and your spirit. And we are sending many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear star
Thank you.
people. Thank you, thank you for
Thank you.
helping us to heal and for TikTok. TikTok disconnected. I didn't do the thing.
How where you have to slide over the puzzle piece?
Yeah,
or
I'm just
something?
sliding, but my eyes were closed. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, how does everyone feel? Everyone feels good?
Mhm.
Yeah, when you first called in the rainbow ray, I got a loud ringing in my left ear. I mean, huge ringing, like pew.
Oh, you felt it right away?
Yeah.
Excellent. I put TikTok back on. We'll see if they come back.
Aw.
What did you feel, Stacy? Did you feel anything shift?
Yeah, I mean, when you first started talking, I mean, you're talking about the love, and yeah, I just felt the love and come in. It just felt really light and really good. And then like I usually feel all my chakras and stuff going around when you're talking about them. So
Good.
yeah.
Amazing. Excellent.
And of course, my guides came through. They said that they're happy to connect with me every day too. Because every day I tell them, I'm so happy that you're here with me. And I know that they're and
Oh,
they said, we're happy to connect with you too.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful when your guides connect and you know you're having that communication and it's fun and it's exciting and you know it turns into a journey. So in 2019 when I first started connecting with the star people, I was in the form of writing and I would hear a little and it would be in my mind and this is my star man, he would laugh. and I would know it wasn't me because the laugh was very much not me. So, but it was exciting and it was fun and it was new and it was fresh and it's just write it all down and like I just encourage everyone document your journey while making communication with the guides because if you write it all down, there's going to be someone who comes along who is like, how did you do it? And you're going to be like, here's my book. This is step by step, exactly what I did during my communication. So when I first started channeling the star people, you have to allow the voice inside of your mind that you have known your entire life as you, as your mind, as your voice. You have to allow the star people to like just you have to have the awareness, okay, that voice that sounds like me and I thought it was me my entire life, it may not be me. And then that expands. And so then you get, a starman to or a star person to laugh and you're just like, now I know that wasn't me, right? But then that expands and then all of a sudden when you're ready for a little bit more, you may hear them. When you're ready for a little bit more, they may show you visions. The visions come in the left eye and goes out the right eye. So your eyes are very, very important because it's in and out. So when you're visualizing something, you are casting it out the right eye. And then that process of visualization can shift your entire physical reality and allow that to come into alignment. But when the star people want to send an image to see, they send it in the left eye. Now, what as mothers, most of the time, the right-handed people, we put the child on our arms here and we look into their eyes. And what are we doing? We're looking from the right eye into their left eye. And they're pulling that energy in and we're sending it out. So when you look at another person, there's a two-way energetic exchange that takes place. So it's like when we know this, it's like, wow, it's so beautiful. So look at everybody with love and
Yeah,
just know that
everybody
there's a two-way.
everybody
What's
had
that?
they had comments, been listening, what a wonderful show. That was King of Wands. And Melissa said, wow, thank you. Mary Jones said, I don't know, she didn't say anything.
That's okay. Hi, Mary Jones.
I'm here.
Flo, Gal, Cindy, very grateful. Thank you. Michael said, I feel great. Thank you. Thoughts of turquoise ray came through me.
Ah,
Um, who else? I felt the energy and then joy, bliss. This is so perfect. Exactly in line with my revelation on
good.
222 of self sabotage. Okay. The self sabotage. Okay. Thank you, star people. Danielle and Mary Jean G.
Thank you. Yeah, Mary, what's up with your name? You got to change that name.
Well, I put Mary JG so people can find me on YouTube.
Oh, is that the YouTube name?
Yeah, that's my YouTube name, but
Oh,
my
okay,
name
okay.
on YouTube is Mary Jean G Divine Starseed.
Oh no, because I see Mary Ying 3916.
Yeah.
That's your name on YouTube?
It's
Yeah.
Mary JG 3916.
Okay, so that is the YouTube name.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
what
It's
YouTube has
perfect.
me on there.
Can
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
and
put it like
anybody
Stacy's? Can you put it in like YouTube and then let so that like the new people who come in that they can say, "Oh, okay, that's Mary's YouTube handle." Otherwise, like we have no idea what that means. For
I should
just for
put
like the
at
next one. Yeah,
Stacy's
like
is
at
Reiki Stacy,
YouTube,
one
right?
word.
Yeah, I'm
Put it
Reiki Spacey.
in
Yeah.
blacks YouTube and Mary J. This way we can look for you. Well, it makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean?
Well, I can't really put it in I can put it in your chat because I'm on yours in case
No,
I'm,
you know your little name, the handle of the name?
yeah.
You could probably edit that because Stacy's is really long. So you could probably put like YouTube and then,
Oh, okay, that's true. I can do that next.
yeah, this way people know what it is, right? That's
Yep.
cool. I know the conversations we get into.
I know. All right. Well, I guess we've been over an hour, so
Yes.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you guys for coming, and I am sending you all my many love and blessings. Thank you guys also for supporting my channel. There is not going to be a shadow work Zoom tonight. Usually, we normally
oh
go
man.
live on Thursdays at 7 p.m., and then we do a shadow work Zoom at 8:30 p.m. until 9:30. The Shadow Work Zoom is an opportunity for us all to come together to do different types of energetic healings and clearings. And also, you guys can ask the star people your one-on-one questions, which is absolutely beautiful. And then, yes, I do have my website, daniellipton.com, where you guys can come and find me. You can email me direct questions. We will answer them on the next live stream, or I do offer sessions with you guys. So it's beautiful. Thank you all for coming so very, very much. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Stacy, for being a part of this beautiful co-creation tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, star people, for showing up. And thank you so incredibly much for answering the questions for the people and for facilitating such a beautiful energetic clearing. We truly are blessed, and we are humble, and we are filled with joy to have your beautiful presence in our life. Thank you so, so much, guys. Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay, you guys have a great night.